breaker! Here, Prime! Activate your force shield!
What? Well, hi there. So I happened to go see DreamWorks' The Wild Robot last week, and it was beyond a shadow of a doubt the best. V, would you please back up the screen from my face? The best animated movie of this year. Sure, Pixar came in with Inside Out 2, and I was sold. Best animated movie of the year. Case closed. But then Ross came into my life, and now I feel like flipping the can and trying to pick his favorite kid. Look, without a doubt, Chris Sanders and his team did a brilliant job adapting Peter Brown's children's book. The Wild Robot transcended everything it was supposed to be. From its sound design, animation, story pacing, dialogue, you name it. The concept that an animated movie can be this good hasn't been seen since Lawrence Kasanoff's Food Fight. I mean, y'all be sleeping on this gem. Look at such shots. Damn, what has Miyazaki been doing all this time? Okay, that's a joke. This is nightmare fuel. I do not endorse watching it. Now, The Wild Robot was so distinctive because, yes, it tackled a lot of mature themes while still balancing the normal themes you expect to see in a kids movie. But more specifically, The Wild Robot was distinctive because it approached the idea of motherhood. I'm not saying animation hasn't approached motherhood before, come on, Wolf Children, but not as simplified as The Wild Robot did and not at the scale it did. I mean, this is a DreamWorks movie, and we are here talking about the beauty of motherhood. Let it make sense. I feel this shows how much DreamWorks believe the story will resonate with both the adult and kids faction of their audience. Now, that aside, what inspired me making this video doesn't really have to do with anything I just talked about. Now, you might not agree with me, but just listen. The reason why The Wild Robot is capable of making such self-explanatory topics like motherhood, grief, and love feel so raw and naked has a lot to do with Roz being a robot. Hear me out. The Robot Archetype is somewhat of a black canvas. V, why are you showing the meaning of archetype? If they watch my channel, they should know the meaning of archetype. Where was I? The Robot Archetype is somewhat of a black canvas for writers because robots are supposed to be non-sentient, programmed, emotionless piece of metal. This, in turn, gives writers somewhat of a blank page to subvert such preconceived notions, choosing for their robots to act almost childlike in the beginning of their stories, and as the stories evolve, tackle several unique themes that help to make their robots feel sentient. What I mean by sentient is something that is capable of sensing or feeling. Basically, something that feels human. You see, what's beautiful about the archetype is how most stories that do have robots playing pivotal roles have to strip down certain topics to its simplest form in order for the archetype to understand. It's like teaching a kid. If we take Brad Bird's Giant Robot, for example, the biggest theme the movie approached was morality. Basically, the extent to which an action is right or wrong. Here, our main protagonist is a boy named Hogarth Hughes, who basically becomes the giant's parent. The giant in the first half of the movie was curious and obnoxious, just like a kid would be. But later on, Bird introduces a heavier theme to the mix, the concept of good and evil. The pivotal scene being the deer scene. Here, the giant understands from Hogarth what it is to kill and what it is to die. A kid's movie, everybody. Come on, give it a hand. With this scene, the Iron Giant has passed such a heavy message to the audience through teaching the giant. Later on, we see the giant become conflicted and sad. He is now showing signs of being sentient. This scene also highlights a brilliant advantage of the archetype, in that because you have a character that is so childlike, the writer can make clear their views about certain polarizing topics in a bid to enlighten the character without it coming off as controversial or too much. We could see this with how the Iron Giant was littered with post-Cold War rhetoric and views on gun violence, all messages that Brad Bird felt strongly on. Now, to me, it's very interesting to see how writers approach the idea of humanizing their robots. Sometimes it takes other protagonists to influence these characters, like the giant and Hogarth, but there are instances where the robot's adaptation to its environment can cause it to become sentient. And a brilliant example of this is WALL-E from 2008's animated sci-fi movie WALL-E. I have no idea why I pronounce WALL-E like that. Now, WALL-E is one of my all-time favorite animated movie. The movie was pioneering for me because of how it approached silence, or the concept of silence. mainly in the medium of animation. Before Wall-E, I think I've only seen silence being used to this effect in Jendy Tatarovsky's Samurai Jack. Every minute or second of just pure silence or zero dialogue in Wall-E carries a message that pretty much isn't hard to decipher. The capability for a screenplay to carry a message with no dialogue shows an outstanding amount of prowess from the screenwriter. Now, that aside, Wall-E has already achieved sentience when we were introduced to him in the movie. How, you might ask? Well, the movie Wall-E takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where all humans have been evacuated from Earth as a result of mass consumerism from the humans that once populated the Earth, which led to the Earth being completely covered by trash, ultimately making the Earth unsustainable for human life. I'm not sure you understood that, but if you've watched Wall-E, you get the point. The solution the humans came up with, or a company named B&L came up with, was to make compactor robots in a bid to clear the trash already on Earth, so that a few years later, the Earth will become sustainable again. Well, the plan didn't work and almost all compactor robots became defective, malfunctioned, and shut down, except one compactor robot. For 700 years, Wall-E had been completely isolated, and as such, he had, so to say, adapted to his environment. When I say adapted, I don't mean evolved. But basically, there was a glitch in his programming over the years. He started to have human behavioral characteristics, like hoarding valuables, caring for things around him, understanding human emotions. You get the idea. Wall-E had become humanized all through the years. You see, unlike the Iron Giant that focuses on making the archetype sentient, Wall-E focuses on the challenges of an already sentient robot, mainly shining lights on the idea of love. I enjoyed seeing how Wall-E was trying to show characteristics of love. Wall-E encompassed any teenage boy trying to make a move on his crush. He was shy, fearful, anxious, and jealous, with Eve not even understanding what Wall-E was doing or the emotions Wall-E was portraying. The movie passed way more messages than just love, like mass consumerism, human overdependence on technology, capitalism, to name a few. Just like Brad Bird's Iron Giant was inspired by the question, what if a gun had a soul? I feel Wall-E's question could have been, what happens when a sentient robot loves a non-sentient robot? Well, it goes to outer space for her. With this movie, we can see a lot of that blueprint that makes this archetype special, like how it gives the writers rooms to make subtle rhetorics about problems that plague our current society. Not only that, with this archetype, you can also break down emotionally heavy themes to its simplest form, like love. I really love the robot archetype. Mostly these robots that fall under this category that I've spoken about, because you get to appreciate these themes that we take for granted. These archetypes give writers the power to approach such themes with a lot of innocence and simplicity, and I feel that's very cool. Well, that's it, you carbon-based life forms. Join me next time, same place, same time. Maybe not same time, because it will probably take Victor like forever to edit this. So see you probably whenever I see you in the next video. Let me get back to my Transformers and yeah.
Almost have it.
Wait, are we still filming? V, you're supposed to end the video. Oh, that I forgot. Sorry. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't liked the video, please like the video. God loves you and I love you too. Bye y'all.